all that I encounter. And so, how many were here for the pancake breakfast? Oh my gosh, it was delicious. And there are a few treats left over that those of you who choose can partake of in Fellowship Hall. So please avail yourself of some of those tasty treats, because they were such an abundance, such an abundance. So thank you. I would like to invite you to and into the meditation this morning. And is there something that you would like to realize more of?
Connection.
Connection. Okay.
Focus.
Focus.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Purpose.
Purpose.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Perfect relationships.
Okay, let's take those. And there's my lesson. But you knew that, didn't you? And so to enjoy this, I invite you to close your eyes if you choose and to listen. Listen to a little bit of one of my favorite sounds. Beyond the silence, but it is the sound of the Native American flute. So just let that resonate within you for just a little bit. Spirit is in this place. It is a moving, loving energy pulsing throughout all creation. Its nature is divine, and it shows up as I show up. And this omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent oneness. It is in this idea, this truth, that I reside. My spiritual self comes into this expression to express. And as one of the one, I invite each one here today to hear the I am. I am all that I choose to be today. For within me is the potential to be full, to be radiant. For I come from that place in the spiritual storehouse of life, rich, full, equipped. And so right now, I allow this fullness to rise up and to fill my entire being with its radiance, with its love. And so it is from this knowing, this absolute knowing and trust of love and grace, that I allow myself to feel the divine connection that always has been. There is no place that I can really move except in my mind that would take me away from the awareness of my connection as the one. And so right now I affirm there is only one. Many individuals as one, living and moving through this life easily, gracefully, purposefully, in perfect harmony and balance and relationship with all of life. As a pod of dolphins moves in this unspoken ocean of life, I am that with all that I move with in this life. It is easy. It is purposeful. It is with a degree of, yes, I know where I'm going. And as I move with and as and from and toward my highest purpose, I do so with faith and trust. For I know I am supported by this divine spirit as me. As all of life around me is of this primordial stuff, I know that I move with absolute confidence in the right and perfect way. My focus is clear. I know who I am. I am spirit in human form. I am a ability for it to express, to create, to have fun, and to love deeply. And so I let this run my life. I don't run from it. I don't push it. I allow it to operate through me in a greater way today. In a greater way than today, tomorrow, and the next day, throughout my life and beyond. For I know my spirit comes before me, through me, as me, and onward. So I celebrate this divine idea. I embrace this truth. And with a grateful heart, I accept it in a deeper way than ever before. So in much gratitude for all that I know and have yet to experience, for all the knowledge that I have gained, and yet there's still more. My life is exciting, and it moves, always moves me forward. And so as such, let us move forward. Let us move forward into life. So I invite you now to take a deep breath and feel that life force. Bring your awareness back into this room. Gently. Paying attention to the flute. Sounds, eternal sounds. One more deep breath, bringing your awareness more fully into the room. Releasing, I release my word with love and expectation, because I know all is truly well. And so it is. Love points the way. And here we are. Here we are. We have been allowed by our own willingness to be here, out of the love that we are for ourselves, to know and to be present this morning, this day, and into the rest of our lives in a greater way. So what a glorious morning it is, beloveds. Do you agree?
Yes.
It's a beautiful morning. Here we are, breathing in the bounty of this life and of this creation around us. I thought what a thrill it was this morning to be part of something different for us this morning, something new. Breakfast at Center for Spiritual Living Greater Chico. We have this beautiful lawn over here, and I thought, well, wouldn't that be nice to have something there in the morning? So we had a great time. We had a great time. This bounty surrounds us. This bounty of life, it supports us. Because we are, guess what? We are of this bounty. We come out of this fullness of spirit that we are, not that we have to become. And one of my premier affirmations is, there is no place where God is not. There is no place where God is not. Let's say that together. There is no place where God is not. You know, I really like reminders of the truth of my being, because heaven knows there's lots of other reminders in the world that want to smack us around. You know, and if we say yes to those, well, hey, we fall into I think it's a vitamin V. I don't mean vodka, but victim. We fall into a victim consciousness if we allow the world theater to become our stage. Okay. I have a cute story to share with you. He was just a little lad on this week's first day. He was wandering home from Sunday school and dawdling on the way. He scuffed his shoes into the grass. He found a caterpillar. He found a fluffy milkweed pod and blew out all the filler. You just see that? A bird's nest in a tree overhead, so wisely placed on high, was just another wonder that caught his eager eye. A neighbor watched his zigzag course and hailed him from the lawn, asked him where he had been that day and what was going on. "I've been to Sunday school," he said, and turned a piece of sod. "I've learned a lot of God." "Well, that's a very fine way," the neighbor said, "for a boy to spend his time. I'll give you a brand new dime if you can tell me where God is." Quick as a flash, his answer came. His voice was not at all faint. "I'll give you $1, mister, if you'll tell me where God ain't." Just like a kid. Just like a kid, you know? The founder of our Teaching the Science of the Mind, Dr. Holmes, wrote, "God exists in everything. God exists in me, and because God exists in me, I am able to recognize other beings in whom God exists." Look like that. We have to first recognize that in ourselves in order for us to be able to even begin to see it in our world. Let's say it one more way. The more we are able to know and acknowledge God in every person, place, experience, the greater our own sense of spiritual beingness as the influence in our own lives. Do you know that you influence your own life every single moment, every single idea, every single thought you have? Because it affects how we move into life. It affects our own physical well-being. I've made myself feel sick to my stomach. Have you ever done that in your life? Now, a real good example for me to know how powerful the mind is to attempt the end of a long, productive day. Maybe you thought it was really so busy and disjointed and scattered, and you're tired, and you just want to go home. Then you get a phone call from a friend. "Hey, you want to go do blah, blah, blah?" And all of a sudden, I found, hey, I'm not so tired after all. What changed? What changed? And the body responded accordingly. It wasn't just, the body was enlivened a bit too. So I know that changing our thinking can change our lives, because I've experienced, and that's just a simple but profound example. So I encourage you to look for the simple, yet profound ways that we influence our lives. Many have asked, do you want to live with more God as your life? God as goodness, God as joy and harmony and aliveness. Do you? Most will answer, yeah, I want more of that. I want more of that. So I have a question. How are we able to have more of this godness, goodness, joy in our lives? How are we able to realize a greater sense of, yes, there is that within me that knows? To be able to hear that whisper of the soul of our very being, the inner intellect, that when offered a concept, will outpicture in this wonderful form that which we claim to be ours. How do we have that happen? Only one way I know. We have to accept it as our own, in our mind and our total being. In other words, to the degree we can embody anything is how much of that thing we have. To the degree we can accept. It's like, you want one pancake, you want 6. How much can you hold? How much is comfortable? In order for us to experience this gift called life, thank you, Cecile, something must be given. Something must be given. Many times you have to give it up. You have to give up to give, to get, to receive. It's called the reciprocal nature of spirit. Giving for, giving toward, letting go. What goes out must come around. And it does. It does come around. Eventually, perfectly, and with absolutely the right timing. Some things take forever, don't they? And then some things come at you like a, well, let me see. Like a freight train. Boom. Didn't see that one coming. There were no bigwags. Well, as I have lived and experienced the human ups and downs, I have come to realize that those human reflections that I see are mirrors of my belief. None of them mine. Originally. None of them mine. But they have become my own through my acceptance of them from birth to right now. I have allowed them to be in my life up until now. In our Science of Mind textbook, there's a chapter called Mental Equivalence, and I love that. I love scientific terms. Mental equivalence. Whoa. Sounds mysterious, doesn't it? Whoa. Foreboding. Well, it is. And this is what it says. The whole teaching of Jesus was based on the theory that we are surrounded by an intelligent law, which does unto each as he believes. He implied the necessity of faith, conviction, and acceptance. Very important. Faith, conviction, and acceptance. That is, there must be measured out to us according to our own measuring. We must not only believe, we must know that our belief measures the extent and degree of our blessing. I love that. We already have this blessing. How do we measure it out? If our belief is limited, only a little can come to us, because that is as we believe. We call this the law of mental equivalence. So you get that? It's equal to. Well, this teaching, the science of mind, provides what's called universal principles because they've been gathered from all the great teachings throughout history. And these principles, when employed as a spiritual practice, provide continuous unfoldment and clarity to each of us. Spiritual mind treatment is what you had so beautifully given by Dr. Carroll this morning. Affirmative prayer. It's not will you, could you, might I, I'll do this if you will. No, it's not it. Clear statements of truth as you know them to be for you. There's no wrong treatment if you clearly affirm truth for yourself. Truth is not the effect, necessarily. It is behind the effect. So if you're experiencing confusion, you affirm that there is a clarity behind any illusion. See the difference? You don't say, I'm not confused. Spirit here is confused. And guess what? Mental equivalent. More confusion. A little more cloudy. Not quite as clear. There's another one called meditation. Now, meditation is anything you want it to be. But its purpose is to quiet the mind. Quiet the movement, the busyness. There's yoga, and there's Tai Chi, and there's all sorts of wonderful ways to do a spiritual treatment, practice. But whatever the form you choose, you should incorporate truth in it. Whatever you do, incorporate the truth. And the truth that I know is God is all there is. God is all there is. I don't care if you're doing them. God is all there is. Okay. God is all there is. Just walking and thinking, knowing God is all there is. And then you look out and you see differently. Because you're coming from a clearer perspective. I like this one too. God is. I am. That takes a little stretch sometimes, speaking of practice. Takes a bit of a stretch to say God is and I am. But the truth of that is that all that God is, I'm an expression of that. Another question. Why would I want to commit to a spiritual practice? Well, it's good for you. It helps build our faith with statements of truth. But you may say, well, why should I have a spiritual practice? Because, my life's okay. My life's just fine. Boring. That's fine. It's kind of, bad. It's okay. It's rolling along. It's rolling along. Well, I liken spiritual practice to breathing and eating. It nourishes. Without either one, we wither. Spiritual practice keeps us spiritually nourished. And for the best results, we should take it in, know it regularly. And you know what? It's never too late to begin a practice. So if what you're doing isn't doing for you, I would suggest doing something different. And any practitioner here can offer different ideas if you have a real need for something different in your life. So it's never too late to begin a spiritual practice. Nor is it too often. You can't do it too much. You won't wear out the wheels on that bus. You will not. When we are on a regular diet of spiritual thinking, we are well equipped for our lives. So if you're satisfied with everything in your life, and all is perfect, and it's all you could ever imagine, then okay. Good for you. Ain't it great? Ain't it great? Your measuring cup must be quite full and not have any room at the top for something new. Well, beloveds, we are spiritual in nature and human in form. We are in this wrapper called a body, one that is self-imagined, self-limited, and potentially self-propelling and expanding. And it does so by our belief in it. So gift-wrapped bodies of spirit, are you ready to move, those of you who are ready, into a life with greater ideas and greater opportunities?
Yes.
Yeah, I am. I'm always ready for something, another serving of spiritual food and life. Are you ready to commit to a truer you? A truer you. That inner knower that is potentially within you. Are you ready for something even more wonderful? I am.
Yes.
I am. Hallelujah. Oh. Watch out. Watch out. But first we must be, that's why I did that, we must be committed to the project, to the idea, to the spiritual unfoldment of ourselves. No one else can do it for us. You come here on Sunday, take classes, read books, do Tole, whatever you do, it's all on purpose for you. But no one else can do it for you. Sunday offers tools and ideas and encouragement, kind of a pep rally. And I like hearing speakers. I like going places and hearing people. I like going to different conferences. But it's up to you to do your spiritual journey. Goethe, in a statement on commitment, wrote this. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy. The chance to draw back. Always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. You heard the expression, it can move mountains. Once you're committed with this definite idea, goes on to say all sorts of things occur to help one that would never have otherwise occurred. A whole stream of events issues from that decision we make, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do, or dream you can, begin it. Begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Begin it now. One of my most profound, early on in the teaching of Science of Mind, was being so committed and clear in my early stages of treatment work, and to be totally amazed. I thought, oh my gosh, I never would have thought that because I said this was my treatment out here, I wanted that feeling or that experience, that all this other stuff would happen along the way. Materials show up, assistance shows up. Sometimes we're stopped because we've gone the wrong way. But we're nice back on course toward our treatment desire. And so don't let the perception of not fast enough or that I'm not on course yet throw off your treatment work. If you're clear about it, you're going to have marvelous results. But we must be committed. There is no place where God is not. There is no place where God is not. Even at those moments when your brain is screaming, oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible. You know, life changes, and we have to change with it. Not as it, many times, but it causes us to have an opportunity to make some new choices, or to be clear about our choices. And having a spiritual practice, I learned many years ago, thank you, Dr. Carolyn, by being prayed up. It's called being prayed up. That you have enough spiritual nourishment to carry you through the wasteland of experience, or something that pulls the rug out from under your life. You have within you, if you've known and done your treatment work, if you're prayed up, it gets you through it. Call upon God for its potential goodness at all times. And I'm not saying God. I'm saying your God nature. Call upon that reserve that is within you, that when we are in our meditation and treatment, there is that whisper. There is that knowingness. So I lovingly encourage each one of us to commit by engaging in spiritual practice that you deem your best. Your best. Some people like to walk in nature. Some people like last week, bicycle ride down California's, 500 and some odd miles. That's not mine. That's not mine. But I honor everyone's path to where they need to go. You know, in this kid, in this story, you show me where God ain't. They're so wise. Children are so wise. I have to do this, Kathy. Sorry. Yes, Robbins. They just got back from a wonderful celebration with their 5-year-old. Is it a great-grandchild who a year ago had a kidney transplant? And talk to them. It's just, and that kid has said some many profound, wonderful, wise statements that I think they're closer to God in that they haven't been layered on yet with all of our belief system, all of our BS of the world. And they just come out with these beautiful statements. They know the truth. That's why it's so much fun to be with children. They're wise. They're very wise. So do your best spiritual practice. Why do I say that? Because you deserve the best. We all deserve the best for us. Several of you have shared today where you've been, where you're going, some of your plans. And I think, isn't that great? I love to hear what people are doing, because that's part of their livingness into life. And we teach that here. Live now, live fully, live abundantly. And that includes money. But abundance is more than that. It's the enjoyment and the thrill and the flavor. So the best is the promise of spirit that you deserve. And it is this: all the gifts have been given. All the gifts have been given. And they are awaiting our level of acceptance to be able to show up. So I urge you to examine closely your beliefs of worthiness. See how they measure up. See how they come up. See if your cup is as full as you would like it to be. If it seems full now, get a bigger cup. Get a bigger cup. And remember that love always points the way to Spirit's next great adventure. Because it's not done till we say so. It's not done till we say so. Namaste. So it is. And now we have another beautiful